I thought that this pandemic was only going to last a few short months. Yet here we are, almost a year in, with no specific end date in sight. For me personally, I was always the type of person who didn't like staying at home for too long. If I needed to study, I would see if I could go to a coffee shop or a cafe, or even a school library would suffice. If my friends asked me to hang out if I was free, you could almost always guarantee that I would go. To me, the outside world seemed so much more exciting than my plain white box of a room. But as time went on, month after month, of being restricted to go outside for safety reasons, 4 months in, I began to become okay with staying at home all day. And now I'm at the point where there's many times where I'm just simply too lazy to go outside. One, because the virus has gotten increasingly worse, and two, because I've become accustomed and comfortable with staying at home. But I don't want to stray too far off topic here. Today I want to go over the issue that so many of us face, and that is the issue of being too comfortable at home and how we need to create environments that allow us to get in the mindset to do the work that we still need to get done. Ever since last March, in the US anyways, society has slowly transitioned indoors and in some ways outdoors as well. Students transitioned to online classes, and employees started to work from home. Some events and gyms, if allowed, moved outdoors, and what used to be indoor dining moved outdoor as well. So society as a whole went through a pretty dramatic transition. I remember when the seniors graduating last year were complaining about not having a commencement ceremony and maybe having a makeup one this year. Well, now they seem like the lucky ones because the students this year had everything online along with the graduation ceremony. Now that we're at home so much of the time, it can be hard for us to get into the different mindsets that we used to have. For those who had a 9-to-5 job, they would have a set work schedule. They would need to get up in the morning, change into work clothes, commute to work, and enter into a designated office workspace. And once they got off work at 5, they would have a more relaxed schedule. Maybe getting home, putting on a movie, and relaxing for the rest of the night. But now it feels like all the days have blended together. We no longer have days with special events, we're not hanging out with friends, we aren't going to the movies, we aren't going shopping, along with many more. And with no events categorizing our days, for me personally, many times I would lose track of which day it was because I had the same set schedule every single day. Today, my schedule looks something like waking up, going to the kitchen to eat breakfast, going back into my room to sit at my desk to do work. Then when it was lunchtime, I would go back out to the kitchen to eat lunch and then come back to my desk. I would then work until it's dinner time, go back out to the kitchen, eat dinner, and end the day sitting at my desk. And the problem with this is that I no longer have a set time and place where I need to do work. In the past, I would have to wake up early and go to school. Or for others, they might have had to wake up early and go to work. And while you were there, because of the environment that you were in, you felt like you were obligated to get the work done like everybody else. Now, even though you might still have work you need to finish at home, it can be harder to get into that productive mindset. If you wanted to, you could probably slack off a bit with no real consequences. So this is where I feel like we all need to set some type of routine. We need to create for ourselves a separate process that creates the same mindset of us going to work. Where we used to have to wake up early, change into our work clothes or uniform, and commute to work, we need to create some type of routine that creates the same effect in our mind when we're at home. And the first way I think we can do this is organize the things on our desk. If you're planning to do work, make sure all the things that you have on it are related to the work that you're trying to get done. If you don't intentionally try to organize your desk for what you're trying to accomplish, you'd be surprised with how many things just happen to appear. For me, I might have some snacks on the side, some hand lotion on the other, or maybe just some random cables lying around. But the point being that when it's time to work, only have the things that you absolutely need on your desk. And this might end up being just your computer and maybe a water bottle. And if you can, to limit distractions, I would recommend that you put your phone somewhere where you can't immediately reach it. If we limit our distractions, it'll allow us to be more productive. Along with this, I recommend that you work in a room where you can't slack off. This may mean finding a room that looks somewhat like an office, or finding an area of the house where you can just have the desk and the chair. One where there's no bed or couch in sight, where you can go lounge or lie down. The purpose of all of this is to limit the opportunities that allow yourself to slack off. I would also recommend that you get yourself an accountability partner. For many of us, it's a lot easier and more enjoyable when we complete tasks with someone else. And if you happen to be that kind of person, this will work great for you. But if you're that type of person where you like working alone, just having someone to keep you accountable can do wonders for your productivity. Because if we do happen to slack off, we feel guilty when we've already told someone else that we're going to accomplish that specific task. If you're in school, this could be agreeing on a set time with your friend that you're going to be productive. And if you're comfortable, you could also hop on a video call and simply do work to keep each other accountable. And if you're in an office setting, you can do this with a coworker as well. And my third and final point is to make some kind of to-do list. For me, I've never been the type to write down everything on a physical calendar. Many say that they get a kick out of crossing things off the list. I've tried it multiple times in the past, but they never lasted very long. But since I'm interested in technology and the idea of having everything digitalized, I have reminders and lists on my computer of the things that I need to accomplish every single day. Just doing this allows yourself to not be clueless when you sit down at your desk, and limits the opportunity to allow yourself to think that you can just slack off. I've recently transferred pretty much everything onto Notion and have separate categories for the things I need to finish, along with every other part of my life. So there's a personal tab, a YouTube tab, a finance tab, and so much more. But like I mentioned, everything is written down, gives you a direction of how you need to organize your day to finish that amount of work. I hope these tips can maybe help you create a routine for yourself so that you can be more productive at home. Because at this current state, it doesn't look like society is going back to normal anytime soon. And even if there was, there's a pretty big chance that society will never be the same as what it once was. And for many people, it might mean that you can permanently work from home. But that's been it for this one. Hit the like button if you found any of this information useful, and consider subscribing if you would like to see more videos from me. I'll see you all very soon in the next video.